What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Flames back at it again with another video. Making this video for my phone. I don't know what's wrong with my computer, but yeah, I don't know. It's not letting me record any videos or nothing. But at least I got a working phone now, so now that my phone works, should be good. But yeah, without further ado, let's get right into Genesis chapter 14, or Exodus chapter 14. That fan's probably kind of loud over my voice. I'm gonna turn it off. But yeah, about to just be reading. I low-key kind of want to go outside and read this, but I'm gonna just do it in here for now. Maybe tomorrow I'll do that. But right now I'm in Alabama visiting my dad. It's really, really nice here. I really like it out here. I feel like the people out here are so much nicer than people anywhere else I've been, especially Seattle and Washington. People are just so mean there. So, I really, really like it here. It's a really cool place, really cool state. But yeah, let's get right into this. Exodus chapter 14. Let's get crossing the Red Sea. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Tell the people of Israel to turn back and encamp in front of Pi-Hahiroth, between Migdol and the sea, in front of Baal Zephon. You shall see encamp facing it by the sea. For Pharaoh will say of the people of Israel, they are wandering in the land, and the wilderness has shut them in. And I will harden Pharaoh's heart, and he will pursue them. And I will get glory over Pharaoh and all his hosts. And the Egyptians shall know that I am the Lord." And when they did so, when the king of Egypt was told that the people had fled, the mind of Pharaoh and his servants was changed around the people. And they said, "What is this that we have done, that we have let Israel go from serving us?" So basically he's like, all this stuff he forgets. He was one of the worst plagues in human history. It just happened to his people. And then he's like, "Oh, damn. Yeah, we still need them as slaves. Get them back over here." That crazy way of thinking, right? Like, illogical, So he made ready his chariot and took his army with him, and took 600 chosen chariots and all the other chariots of Egypt with officers all over them. And the Lord hardened the heart of Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and he pursued the people of Israel while the people of Israel were going out defiantly. The Egyptians pursued them, all of Pharaoh's horses and chariots, and his horsemen and his army, and overtook them and camped at the sea by Pi-Hahiroth from Baal Zephon. When Pharaoh drew near, the people of Israel lifted up their eyes, and behold, the Egyptians were marching after them, and they feared greatly. And the people of Israel cried out to the Lord. They said to Moses, "Is it because there are no graves in Egypt that you have taken us away to die in the wilderness? What have you done to us, bringing us out of Egypt?" So now the people are starting to question Moses after they had so much faith in him before. But as soon as stuff starts to go bad, they're done. They don't want anything to do with it. Kind of like how when in our lives, when stuff goes good in our lives, we're like, "Oh yeah, we're really happy with God." But sometimes when things go bad, some of us like to question God and be like, "Oh man, why'd you do this to me?" Well, first off, it was all planned out. Second off, if you truly believe what Moses was saying, you should know that you'd be fine. But I understand in the moment when you see that happening, it seems like, all hope is lost. Can't act like, in that situation, it doesn't seem like all hope is gone. They're cornered. They're in the sea. The whole army's in front of them. They're like, "I'm screwed." But the first thing they do is blame Moses. Okay, let's see. Where are we at? "Is this not what we said to you in Egypt? Leave us alone that we may serve the Egyptians." So now they're going back. Bro, they were all agreeing with them before, bro. Hold on. I'm going to try and find the passage. I don't know where it is. Yeah, whatever. But, I mean, to be fair, though, all these people have seen crazy signs via Moses. All this stuff has happened. So, at this point, they should have some, like, bruh, if they seen the hail fall down, like, I forget. I'm giving them a little bit too much credit. They just seen all these miracles happen. Why aren't they not like, hey, yo, Moses, dial, hey, God, can you help us out real quick? Instead of that, they're just straight to blaming him. And they saw all this crazy stuff. And one of the craziest things that happened in history, and they still don't even care. But I mean, hindsight's 20/20 vision. It's easy for me to, say that about them. But let's see. Egyptians were marching after them, and they feared greatly. Hold on. Let's see. For it would have been better for us to serve the Egyptians than to die. In the wilderness. And Moses said to the people, fear not, stand firm, and see the salvation of the Lord, which he will work for you today. For the Egyptians whom you see today, you shall never see again. The Lord will fight for you, and you have only to be silent. The Lord said to Moses, why do you cry to me? Tell the people of Israel to go forward. Lift up your staff and stretch out your hand over the sea and divide it, that the people of Israel may go through the sea on dry ground. And I will harden the hearts of the Egyptians, that they shall go in after them, and I will get glory over Pharaoh and all his host, the chariots and his horsemen. And the Egyptians shall know that I am the Lord, when I have gotten glory over Pharaoh, his chariots, and the horsemen. Then the angel of God who was going before the host of Israel moved and went behind them, and the pillar of cloud moved from before them and stood behind them, coming between the host of Egypt and the host of Israel. And there was the cloud and the darkness, and it lit up till the night without one coming near the other all night. Then Moses stretched out his hand over the sea, and the Lord drove the sea back by a strong east wind all night and made the sea dry land, and the waters were divided. And the people of Israel went into the midst of the sea on dry ground. Excuse me. I got allergies to these dogs that are here, so you're gonna see me with the stuffy nose for the next week and a half. And Moses and then the people of Israel went into the midst of the sea on dry ground, the water. The Egyptians pursued and went in after them in the midst of the sea, all Pharaoh's horses, his chariots, and horsemen. So at this point, they're seeing this happen, and they still, I guess at that point, there's really no turning back. But if I was chasing somebody and I saw the sea open for them, they got it, bro. Like, you got it. You got it. It's cool. I don't know. And the people of Israel, dry ground. The Egyptians pursued and went after them. This is the sea, all Pharaoh's horsemen. In the morning, watched the Lord in the pillar of fire and the cloud looked down on the Egyptian forces and threw the Egyptian forces into a panic, clogging their chariot wheels so that they drove heavily. And the Egyptians said, let us flee from before Israel, for the Lord fights for them against the Egyptians. Then the Lord said to Moses, stretch out your hand over the sea, that the water may come back upon the Egyptians, upon their chariots, upon their horsemen. So Moses stretched out his hand over the sea, and the sea returned to normal course when the morning happened. And as the Egyptians fled into it, the Lord threw the Egyptians into the midst of the sea. The waters returned and covered the chariots and the horsemen, and all the hosts of Pharaoh that had followed them into the sea, not one of them remained. By the way, in modern times, they found parts of the chariots at the bottom of the sea. Like, in recent times, I'm not sure. You can look it up if you're really curious, but that literally confirms the story, because why else would there be ancient chariots from that point in time? But yeah, this is kind of like how they found shells in the Sahara, like proving that the flood was real with Noah. They found chariots at the bottom of the sea. Egyptian chariots at the bottom of the sea. Crazy. The waters returned and covered all the chariots and the horsemen, all the hosts of Pharaoh found the sea. But the people of Israel walked on dry ground through the sea, and the waters being a wall to them on their right hand and on their left. Thus the Lord saved Israel that day from the hand of the Egyptians, and Israel saw the Egyptians dead on the seashore. Israel saw the great power that the Lord used against the Egyptians. So the people feared the Lord, and they believed in the Lord and in his servant Moses. So now they finally start to buy in. All it took was God splitting the sea completely in half. No biggie. But yeah, really love and appreciate y'all. Appreciate the support. Appreciate y'all for watching. It means a lot to me. About to have a great Christmas tomorrow with my family. I haven't seen them in a while. It's really great. You know, my family, well, this side of my family hasn't always been this way, but very tapped in with God. Like the whole time I've been here, all they talk about is Jesus, bro. Like, it's crazy. It wasn't always like that, but you know, God kind of changed everybody to kind of be more like this. And I'm on my way soon. You know, I'm getting there. And just being here builds up my faith so much. Just being around these people, you know, so it's really good. And I don't know how much y'all know about this, but it's like my family, this side, my dad's side of my family, is fearing, God-fearing. My mom's side, all witches, witchcraft, evil, serving the devil. Gotta break the generational curses. I got both sides. I got problems on my dad's side too. But man, these curses, man, and you know, like it's a fight between good and evil. My own family. You know, I love my mom, but you know, I haven't even spoken to her in a while. You know, partially because of that stuff, bro. Doing spells on my family, bro, and it's affecting them. Like, I mean, they're covered by God. They're not affected technically by it, but you know, it's harassing. It's constant. You know, and that's, you know, part of the reason, or a lot of the reason, why they're so. Maybe that's not the exact reason why they're so close with God. Because, you know, they already believe in God, but they have to make sure they don't have any doors open. They have to make sure they don't have any doors open. Because if they have doors open, there's room for the enemy to attack them. And everybody, my mom's side, not every day, but very often, doing voodoo, doing all this different stuff, doing all this different witchcraft stuff, sending witchcraft stuff here, shipping it here. Crazy stuff. But you gotta understand, God is the highest power. So there's other stuff, like, you know how we read in the when God was performing the signs all through all the different signs, Moses and stuff like that, right? We got the 10 different things that happened. If you remember correctly, through the dark works, the other people, the Egyptians that were doing dark magic, they were able to do some of the signs, like the frogs, the blood in the river. They were able to do these certain things. So they do have some power, because the devil has a power in this world, you know, so they're able to do certain things. However, the highest power is Jesus. That's why when you see, you know, like certain people, like leaders of like these like demonic stuff that turn to Christianity, they're saying stuff like, yeah, you know, I turned because, you know, I thought the devil was the greatest, thought he had all this power, but we weren't allowed to attack certain people because they were covered by Jesus. And he realized that they were inferior at that point. So no matter all the stuff that happens, all the stuff that they could do, it doesn't matter, because God is the ultimate protection. So yeah, but that's it for today. I appreciate y'all for watching. Love y'all, boys. Thank you for watching this video. Love y'all. Bye.